It's available for, I guess, a month. The videos are available, I guess, for a month. So,
Yes, they are. Yeah.
so that will be useful, to go back. Just in case somebody is absent, even then it's useful. Can go
Correct.
through the. Maybe wait for a couple of minutes until others join. Yeah, I have been sending you some shlokas and all that in the group, uh, uh, just to show you how the language can, express itself in many 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 ways. Uh, unlike other languages, it has its own expression in different ways. I hope you got this PDF handy, because we are going to begin with that. This PDF that we sent you in the group,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
and a copy of the Bhagavad Gita also is essential. Namo Namaha, Manishji.
Namo Namah, sir.
Namo Namaha. As a matter of fact, in Namo Namaha also there is a Varna Vikara Sandhi. It should be Namaha Namaha, but here you find the Visarga changing into the Okara, right? Um, we will. I will not introduce this concept of changing Visargas formally. As we go through it, you might come to the rules yourself. And then finally we'll do it. At some point we'll do it. But by that time you'll feel that it's already done. Because in everyday language also, as we said Namo Namaha, and we said Guru Brahma, but then you said Guru Devo Maheshwara. So some things will sort of phonetically come right. Basically, it is extremely good phonetics. What Panini did was nothing but phonetics, right? So in that way, everything should fall logically into place. You don't need to do sandhis as such uh, formally. Uh, Things sometimes cannot be said in any other way. You have to change your sounds in particular combinations to certain changes must take place. Otherwise, our oral apparatus is not able to do it. You get what I'm saying? Okay, I think, shall we begin, or we wait for a couple of minutes, two more to join? Let's wait until 7:35 and we begin. A lot of it, what we are going to do is today will be the Varnamala, which I'm sure everybody has done. All of you have done in school in the beginning, and yes, Namo Namaha Radhika. We will see, how much of it you think is new, uh, how much of it is something new you are learning. Let's see. Okay, let me share the screen as well. You're able to see the screen, right? Yeah, is that okay? Are you able to see the board?
Yes, I can see the screen.
One more thing, when the whiteboard is on, I'm not able to see any of you, right? So if you want to say something, if you want to ask, you ask straight off, because I can't see you raising your finger, because that whiteboard appears in front of me. So you can interrupt me, not a problem, right? Uh,
Sure,
and
sure, sir.
I might finish something and then come to the question, or come to it right away. Okay, so then we start. Uh, Yeah. So we are going to start with this PDF that you know, that I sent to you, right? I wanted to go to the last page where we have got the what I call as the Maheshwari Sutra, right? Now all of us know, from school the I, U, U, that's the way we have done the Varnamala. The Maheshwari Sutra is supposed to be the very basis of the Sanskrit language and the Sanskrit grammar. These 14 sutras uh, form the very basis of Sanskrit grammar, as Panini put it in the Ashtadhyayi. Uh, uh, it's basically, if you see carefully, they are only a combination of varnas. They are only a combination of the letters. What I mean by a varna is a phoneme. It means something which can be uniquely pronounced is a phoneme. Something which can be uniquely pronounced is a phoneme. Uh, and that which represents a phoneme is a varna. Right? So these are all varnas because they represent individual phonemes. Phoneme is an English uh, phoneme. Right? Okay. So I'll just read it out to you. I wun rul ruk a om I ouch hayavarat lan nyamangananam jabang ghadadash jab gadadash kapha chatata chatatau kapai shashastar hal. If you go through this, you find all the varnas in it, right? So it's like A B C D up to Z and X Y Z. So you find all the varnas in it. Now, what strikes you is this specific order of these varnas. Why are these in a sort of a different order? We have done it as ka, kha, ga, gha, na, cha, cha, ja, jha, nya. But this looks the order is different, and the order is the key in this whole thing, right? Now, what I want you to see is, carefully, is there are 14 sutras. Now, one sutra is, for example, I won. This becomes one sutra, correct? And this last letter is called an anubandha. It is called an anubandha. An anubandha is a delimiter. You get what I'm saying? When you want to uh, when you want to space out, because I told you there is no space in the Sanskrit language because it was purely verbal. There was no space. There is no requirement for a space, right? So something had to be introduced to separate things. So he uses an anubandha to separate the sutram. So I un becomes one sutra. Rul ruk becomes another sutra. So the k, the last k, becomes an anubandha. Aom, the na becomes the anubandha. I ouch, the ch becomes an anubandha. So you have similarly the t, the na, the ma, the nya, sh, sh, v, y, r, and l. Interestingly, what you find here is the only letter which comes twice. The only letter which comes twice. Does it strike you? There's one letter, there's one varna which comes twice. The h. You've got haya and you've got hal. So you've got the hakara coming twice, right? Okay. Uh, this we will you can keep this aside, back of your mind. Now we will see, how it all goes. Right? Okay. So we begin with the the letters e, u, r, r, Lr. These are what we call as the swara. Right? Now, swara translates into English as the vowel. Now, what is a swara? Swara is uh, something which can be pronounced and on its own. You don't need any other phoneme. You don't need any other varna to pronounce that letter. So therefore, it is called a swara. Right? So we have said that there are swaraha. Right? So one vowel is a swara. Many vowels are swaraha, swaraha, and swaraha. One vowel is a swaraha, and many vowels is a swaraha. From this, you come to know that there is a singular and there is plural. Right? You have got ekavachana and you have got bahuvachana. Correct? No? When you say swaraha, I mean one vowel. I mean swaraha, I mean many vowels. Right? So we begin with e, ru, which is the first two sutras of the Maheshwari Sutra. Right? You have to remove the I wun and you've got rul ruk. So removing the anubandhas, because the anubandhas really don't serve any purpose other than serving as delimiters. So you see here the I, U, Ru, Lru. These are the first swaras that he talks about. And these are called the Rasva Swaraha. They are called the Rasva Swaraha. Rasva, as in what we mean by Rasva, is the short vowel. Right? The Rasva, short vowel. Now, what do we mean by short? That a very important question comes in our mind. What do we mean by short? So, okay, let's go further. So, when you talk of adding to another you have a lengthening of the and that becomes an okay. In this process, similarly, you can say the e and the e will become e, the u and the u become the u, the r and the r from the ru, dirgha. Is this clear? And the lr, which is also a swara in the Sanskrit language, has got no dirgha. Is this clear? So now we come to the concept of two swaras, rasva swaras, coming together and making one dirgha swara. These are your dirgha swaraha. So we don't need, Panini did not find the need. Panini did not find the need to mention the dirgha swaras in the Maheshwari Sutra. Or Lord Shiva did not have the need to express the dirgha swara because these came from Lord Shiva's Damru, right? So Lord Shiva did not want to include. He didn't make it e ru 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 ru. You know, he didn't do that. He didn't include the dirgha swaras at all because they are secondary. They are made using the rasva swara. Is this clear? So you get the dirgha swaras are a combination of the rasva swaras. See that? They are not independent. They are dependent on the rasva swara. So our basic swaras are only e, u, ru, and lr. That's it. The lr does not have a dirgha. It doesn't merge and become a dirgha. So lr remains lr. Is this clear? With this concept, are we changing the varna? Are we now learning how to combine varnas and get a new varna? Have we not done that? When we said the akara plus the akara is becoming an akara, then we have automatically come to a concept what is called as varna vikara. Varna vikara. Vikara is modification, right? It also means a distortion. Huh? Vikara is a modification or a distortion. Here it can be taken as a modification, right? So have we now come to a point where we can take two varnas together? In this specific case, the and the right? And we are able to come to a third varna, and we are able to say that a is a new varna which comes in. Correct. Now we have already come to a concept of what is very popularly in Sanskrit called as sandhi. You must have heard of this this concept of the sandhi, which is nothing but a varna vikara, two varnas coming together and getting modified and making a coming bringing a third making a causing a third varna to come in, right? So this comes to a concept of sandhi, which we very popularly know. Interestingly, Panini never utters the word sandhi in the entire document. There is nothing called sandhi in what Panini says. This is later grammarians who have come to this conclusion of sandhi. And basically, sandhi means what? We have to understand it as varna vikara. That means what happens? In this particular case, the and the get together and form an a. It can also happen with and an a. A and an a will become the a. Is this clear? By if there is an if there is an and an and an and a and a, the result is a. You get what I mean by what I've said by that? That means any combination of the akaras, the dirgha and the rasva, will result in the dirgha akara. The same concept goes with the e and the e. In any combination will result in the dirgha ikara. The u and the dirgha u, the same idea goes, will result in the dirgha ukara. The ru and the dirgha ru. There is a dirgha ru in the Sanskrit language, which I don't think is there in other languages. I'm not sure if there is there in Hindi. Is this clear? In any combination of these varnas, we get a dirgha, the a, the e, the u, the ru, and r, as I told you, does not have a dirgha. So no combination takes place. Nothing happens. Lru plus lru remains lru. Fine. So now we have come to four new varnas. We have come to four new varnas. Is this clear? With what we call this whole operation of combining varnas, as I told you, popularly called a sandhi. And the name given to the sandhi, obviously you have to name it, baptize it. It's called the savarna dirgha e. So what do we mean by savarna? The akara and the akara are savarna. That means they are similar. One is born out of the other. Right? The combination of the combination of the gives rise to the a. So it's a savarna. It's of the same family. So savarna will result in a dirgha. So this sandhi is called a savarna dirgha sandhi. Very popular sandhi. Very commonly comes in all our texts. You will find it. The savarna dirgha sandhi. Is this clear? When you have the same varna coming together, then you have a savarna dirgha sandhi. Is this clear? And from this savarna dirgha sandhi are born these varnas, A, E, U, Dirgha R, are born out of the Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Is this clear? Fine. Any questions so far? No? Clear? Fine. Shall we go ahead? Okay. So then, what about the other varnas which are there? So now, if you combine the Akara with the Ikara in any combination, then what we get is the Akara. Right? When the combines with a U, again in any combination, the Dirgha Rasva are the Savarna. Right? This will result in an Okara. Is this clear? Fine. See here also again, it's a combination of two swaras, right? Which is giving me this A and O, right? So do you see that these also will classify as Dirgha swara? These ones will also classify as Dirgha because we've got two short. Obviously, we are now what is this Rasva and Dirgha? We'll come to a little later. But this also classifies as a Dirgha swara. Right? What is a Rasva and what is a Dirgha? We'll define it properly. Is this clear? So you have, Gana plus Isha. We know, no? What is Gana Isha? Gana Isha. What do we expect to do? We expect to make it Ganesh.
Ganesha.
Is this clear? Do you find something interesting happening? You have Gana and Isha. This ends in an Akara. Gana ends in an Akara. This begins with an Ikara. And both the Akara and the Ikara are both thrown away, and you bring a new Akara. You have Ganesha, right? Another popular thing, Surya Udaya. What is Surya Udaya?
Suryodaya.
Suryodaya.
Do you see here the Surya, right? Ending in A. And the next word starting with an U. Surya Udaya is Suryodaya. Right? So you have got this combination. This combination has been given the name of Gunasandhi. This combination is given the name Gunasandhi. The earlier one was what? Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Here you have the Gunasandhi, which gives rise to two more varnas, the A and the O. Right? But Shiva wanted to mention this here, in which you are A Om. You get to the next sutra. You see the next sutra, A Om. So he has found the need to give you A Om. Right? We go further. So what did we do? Basically, the and the we combined and made it A. And then the next combination was E, and the E made it E. And then we started combining this, the and the E, and then the and the U. Right? We started combining between them and resulting in the O and the A. Right? So all this is all combinations which are giving rise to these varnas. Right? Okay. We go further. Now and then A. Okay, now we combined and E, made it A. Now we are combining and A. This results in the I. Okay. And the and the O results in an O. The A as well. The A as well. So you've got two more varnas, the I and the O, which are mentioned in the fourth sutra. Clear? These are also Dirgha varnas because they are coming out of combination of two varnas. So we are expecting it to be Dirgha Swara. And this sandhi is called the Vriddhi Sandhi. This sandhi is called the Vriddhi Sandhi. So we did the Savarna Dirgha Sandhi, the Guna Sandhi, and the Vriddhi Sandhi, which is giving rise to this I and O. Right? Now, interestingly, the first four sutras, I'm writing them here. I won, Rul Ruk, A on, I ouch. Right? Now, when Panini wanted to, bring a combination to you, right? He wanted to bring a combination. For example, he wanted to say all these swaras. Then what he would do is begin with the first swara and come to the last anubandha. That means he will just say ach. Do you see a coding mechanism? If he wants to talk about all the swaras, right? He will say ach. The ach means all the swaras. Similarly, if he was to say ak, what would it mean? What would he want to say? You get what I'm saying? When he wanted to say all the swaras, in that means from to O, he would say ach. When he wants to say, for example, when he says ak, then what does he want to tell you? Which swaras does he want to tell you about? He only wants to tell you about
E, U,
U,
R,
and that's it.
R. Yes.
The ak is a code to say I, U, Ru, Ru. Or he says ik. What would ik be? It would be I, U, Ru, L. Right? And these are all used. Interestingly, these are all used. Or for example, he wants to say H. He says H. When he says H, he only refers to A, O, I, O. So he made a sort of a coding mechanism to substitute a whole lot of varnas with one single code. Right? I want you to remember this ach. Okay. So all these swaras, right? All these swaras, saraha, are called as ach. Very simple. All the vowels are ach. Clear? All vowels are ach. Right? We are going to use this a little later. Keep it in the back of your mind that all swaras are ach. Right? Okay. So then, what is this concept of dirgha and rasva? I wanted to come to this small karika here on a little further ahead on the sixth or the seventh page. Yes, where it is given as I have given as pronunciation. Right? I think it's the fifth page. Right? Got it? Have you got this page after the sankhya? Got the page?
Sir, which page number 5?
1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth page.
Okay.
Six.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Here you see ekamatro bhavet rasvaha, dvimatro dirgha uchyate, trimatrastu pluto nyeyaha, vyanjanam tvardhamatrakam. Right? So I'll write it here. Ekamatraha bhavet rasvaha. Now here you have the definition of what do we mean by rasva. Right? What do we mean by rasva? Ekamatraha bhavet rasvaha. Dvimatraha dirgha dirgaha. I'm removing the sandhis. I'm giving it to you. Dirgaha uchyate. Trimatraha tu. I'm separating the sandhis. Trimatraha tu. Plutaha nyeyaha. Vyanjanam tu ardhamatrakam. A very beautifully explained concept of rasva, dirgha, pluta, and ardhamatraka. Right? Now, matra means, one click. 2 clicks, dvimatra. 3 clicks, trimatra. Right? So, the concept is what is said in one click, ekamatra, is rasva. What is said in dvimatra is dirgha. Now, what is pluta? Right? We don't know what is pluta. We have not done what is pluta now. Correct? So, pluta is trimatra. That means even longer than dirgha is trimatra. Right? Three matras. 1, 2, 3. Correct? And vyanjanam, he says, is only ardhamatrakam. That means it's not even a click. It's only half a click. Now we'll understand what does half a click mean. Okay. Now is it clear that what is rasva? When we chanted those Namaste Sharada Devi, correct? Did you observe, that it is relative? What is dirgha and what is rasva is relative. So in a word, if there is a rasva and dirgha, then the dirgha has to be double the rasva. You get what I'm saying? You cannot say, for example, that you cannot say, for example, that rasva means half a second and dirgha means 1 second. You can't say that. Suppose there is some person who is reciting a rasva in 1 second, then dirgha has to be 2 seconds. What I'm trying to say is there is no absolute rasva and dirgha. The rasva and dirgha are relative to the speed of the speaker. It's very important because what happens is you can, for example, I'll tell you Namaste Sharada Devi. When I said Devi, A was a dirgha, the V is a rasva. So you see the difference in the time. It's Devi. Now suppose I was to say Devi. If I'm lengthening my if my speech is the rasva is going to 2 seconds, then my dirgha will be go to 4 seconds. It's relative to the speed of the speaker. There is no absolute 1 second and half second and no such thing. It's relative to the speaker. We have to see what his rasva is and then come to the conclusion of what the dirgha will be. But it's very important that the rasva, should be exactly, it should be half of the dirgha. You cannot have Sharada Devi, then it's not a, because your A and the E will have the same matra and hence both will be classified as dirgha. Clear? So that will be a mistake in pronunciation. That is what we have to really learn when chanting, right? Your rasva is rasva, dirgha is dirgha. This might look a little kiddish, but I have seen, very adept speakers also making mistakes with this, the Rasva Dirgha, right? So it has to be something which we have to inculcate it in practice. And then we come to the Rasva Dirgha. Clear? So this karika, this is called a karika, helps us to understand what is the ekamatra rasva, dvimatra dirgha. Then what is the trimatra? So you must have seen in the Bhagavad Gita, if you have read, we have words like, uh, for example, uh, bhavate. Have you observed this symbol? Have you observed many places this symbol in the Sanskrit text? You'll find
Yes.
this. You find this symbol, right? This symbol which looks like an S, right? This is called an avagraha chihnam. And many places, many people don't know what to do with this, right? What to do with this avagraha chihnam. So the avagraha chihnam gives rise to a swara which is called as pluta. Pluta literally means pulled. It literally means pluta in the Sanskrit language means pulled, खींचा हुआ. So the pluta sound is trimatra. That means if it was bhavatepi, right? If it was like this, then it is only dirgha, bhavatepi, right? But when you get the avagraha chinna, then this becomes trimatra. That means it's not bhavatepi, it's bhavatepi. So what have you done? Basically, you have pulled that ekara to trimatra. Instead of keeping it at dvimatra, we have made it trimatra. Is this clear? And the avagraha chinna you observe only comes after an A and an O. It comes nowhere else. This avagraha chinna. That means the pluta sounds are limited to A and the O. In our in our Sanskrit today, this is the half truth, but accept it like this now at the moment, that it comes only after an A and an O. Is this clear? So A will become A and the O will become an O. So, for example, if you have to read this, how would you read it? This is an avagraha chinna, by the way. How would you read this?
Kopi.
Kopi. You get what I'm saying? It's kopi. For example, do you have the Bhagavad Gita handy with you?
Yes, sir.
I will tell you. Let's try to. Give me a moment. Shloka number 123. First adhyaya. 23rd shloka. Have you got it? Have all of you got this shloka?
Yes, sir.
First adhyaya, 23rd shloka. I will read it. I will read it for you, and you see the. Do you see the two avagraha chinnas there? You see two avagraha chinna in the purvardha, in the first half, the earlier half. You see two avagraha chinnas. So yotsyamananabekshe ya etetra samagataha. You see the way it has been. I have said it. You want me to repeat? Yotsyamananabekshe Ya etetra samagataha. You see the lengthening of Veksheham etetra. Etetra. You see, we have got the A dirgha. The first A is a dirgha. Etetra. But the second one is a pluta. That means what have I done? I have pulled that ekara into three matra. I begin with two matra. Etetra. Etetra. You get what I'm saying? If this avagra chinna was not there, yotyamanana veksheham na etetra samagataha. You see the difference? You see the difference? What the avagra chinna is doing? Right? It is making a pluta. And pluta means what? Whatever you are having earlier vowel, you pull it into three matra. Right? So for whatever Sanskrit we are doing, we don't have pluta for other vowels, only the A and the O. Right? This is not the whole truth. In the Vedic Sanskrit, we have got the plutas for everything. For the akara also pluta is there, the ikara also pluta is there. Yes.
Sir, does it change the meaning, or is it only a chanting, the way of chanting? What is the significance of this in terms of what
We are
happens?
only doing the phonetic. It's nothing to do with it. It does not change the meaning at all. Nothing. No change. Right? Now, what it is exactly, no? Let me go there because it's perfect. So when you say etetra, then what you are basically saying is ete atra. You get what I'm saying? It's ete atra. Now, when you get this combination of a and an one more varna vikara is coming in. You get what I'm saying? We have got varna vikara. No? We did savarna dirgha sandhi, which was a combination of some varnas. We did guna sandhi. We did vruddhi sandhi. All combination of varnas, right? Combination of swaras. Here now you get one more. This will change into a, and this akara goes and you get the avagraha chinna. That means what are you doing? You are removing the akara altogether and you are lengthening the previous swara. And with O plus A becomes O and you get an avagraha chinna. So basically what I'm saying, what I'm trying to communicate with the avagraha chinna, am I having a new letter? No, I'm not having any new letter coming there. All I am saying is remove the akara and lengthen the ekara or the okara. Very simple. Is this clear? This given the name Purva Rupa Sandhi. This is called the Purva Rupa Sandhi. Purva Rupa Sandhi. That means the akara is good and only the previous, the Purva Rupa is kept. His name is given so beautifully. Purva Rupa. What is the Purva? The A is the Purva. This is the Purva. And this is the Uttara. The Purva and the Uttara. So the Purva Rupa means what? Remove the second part and only keep the first part. But then lengthen it. Lengthen it to three matra. Make it Pluta. Clear? Is this clear why this is called a Pluta? Right? Very interesting, a monkey is called a Plavangama. One of the words for a monkey, in the Sanskrit language is Plavangama. That means the one who leaps. So this plu, no? This plu means to leap. So what you are doing here, you're pulling that guy long, you're making that guy leap, that varna, the A, the O, that way, right? It comes from the plu, which means to leap. Okay. Uh, the next part is very interesting. It says Vyanjanam to Ardhamatrakam. Vyanjanam, that Twardhamatrakam, no? Why it becomes Twardhamatrakam? We'll do it later. But now you assume that it becomes Vyanjanam to Ardhamatrakam. The Sanskrit tu is exactly the same as the Hindi to. So we use to in Hindi. For example, मैं तो गया था. So मैं गया था and मैं तो गया था. What is the difference? Is there any difference in the meaning? Does the to do anything there? Doesn't do anything, right? So in Sanskrit also tu doesn't do anything. Tu is only used for emphasis. You know, uh, we want to say some little bit more emphasis on something, then so you say to. So here you say tu. So the tu is as good as not required. So Vyanjanam Ardhamatrakam. Now tell me, is it possible to say an Ardhamatra? Is it possible to say it? Can you say something in Ardhamatra? Is it possible to say anything in Ardhamatra? You cannot say it at all. You cannot pronounce it. You get what I'm saying? So in the Sanskrit language, the Vyanjanani. Now we come to the other part. Vyanjanam is a consonant. Okay. And just like Vyanjanam is one consonant, Ekavachanam. Now you have got many consonants, Vyanjanani consonants. You find something interesting. We made Swaraha, we said is one Swaraha, but we said many Swaras are Swaraha. Right? That's what we said. And now we are changing our singular plural and saying that Vyanjanam is one Vyanjanam and Vyanjanani is many consonants. Right? So do you observe a change in the structure of the Ekavachanam and the Bahuvachanam? We didn't make it Vyanjanaha or Vyanjanamaha or something like that. No Visarga, nothing. Right? Okay. So Vyanjanam is consonant, Vyanjanani is consonant. And the consonants in the Sanskrit language don't have an independent existence because they have to be told in the Ardhamatra. How on earth can you say something in Ardhamatra? Get what I'm saying? So the Vyanjanam cannot be pronounced at all. It cannot be pronounced at all independently. They have no existence, independent existence. In the Sanskrit language, the Vyanjanam has no independent existence. Right? So the Vyanjanams are the ik. See, are you able to only say? You can't say. Your oral apparatus is not made to do it. So just if I want to convey to you, that there is a letter called K. I can't say K because when I say K, then I am going to Ekamatra. If I say Ka, I am going to Dvimatra. Right? Fine. So I have to say it in Ardhamatra. Then what I have to do? I have to create one, artificial letter there, and artificial letter is E. So ik becomes by vowel. Ik, ig, ig, and ing. That means they have no individual existence. You can't even say them. You get what I'm saying? So you have the varnas which we popularly say as ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. Okay, these sometimes present a problem, right? Can you just give me a moment? Somebody at the door. 1 minute. Yes, sorry. Yes. So how do we pronounce this? Because this is not a very popular varna in our Hindi and Marathi. So how are you going to pronounce it? So the method to pronounce it is uh, you say g, correct? The third varna g. Now say g at the same time use your nose also. So n, n, n.
No, no.
Okay, this is n, n. So I found in your text, Ankuram.
Yes. Correct.
Ankuram. So however I said it, I am saying the g, but at the same
Yeah.
time I am keeping my nasal apparatus open. See what happens is, we have got there is some sort of diaphragm between the mouth oral cavity and the nose. Okay, and our brain actually knows, when you want to say something which is what we call as an anunasika, a nasal sound, then that diaphragm is kept open by our brain automatically,
Yes.
right? So the right? So
Yeah.
many people know how to say this, but then there's a big confusion with this. What am I going to do with this, right? So then we have the itch, idge, idge, and nya. Now same principle we are going to use. You are going to say the j. You are going to say the j, but you are going to use your your nasal cavity also. So nya, nya, right? Is this
Yeah.
right? Okay. Then we come to the it, it, id, id, in. Right? You go the na, what we call as na. But in Sanskrit, you are not allowed to say that, because when you say ta, you are automatically going to make it full matra, one matra. But one matra is not allowed, because you said Vyanjanam to ardha matrakam. You have to only say it with half matra. Correct? And do you see all these things which we put here, right? These are telling you that they are Vyanjana. These lines at the bottom, correct?
Yes.
Many places we use them, like in Manish Mahodaya, I saw uh, in your text the use of this,
Yes.
right? Somewhere. I
Yes.
don't know. Ankuram I remember clearly, but I don't remember the other place.
Yes.
But
Praveen.
now,
I think it was used at Praveen also.
yeah, somewhere, but I don't remember exactly. But I found it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how do you understand?
Yes.
Now do you understand the significance of that? There,
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
use that, you are not supposed to pronounce it fully. You are going to
Correct.
stop it at half a matra only, right?
Correct.
Similarly, you have it, it, id, id, in. Very difficult to pronounce. It's not possible to pronounce. So you have to add one swara in front and say it, id, id, in. Right. So what we popularly call as the, na, right? And then we have the p, ip, ip, p, not f, not f. There is no f in the Sanskrit language. There is no f. There is ip, phalam, not phalam, phalam, right? Because basically you said k, kh, cha, cha, ta, tha, ta, tha, pa, pha. You get the similarity? All you have done is you have aspirated more than the first row. From the first column to the second column, there is only what we call as aspiration. That means more sound coming out of, more air coming out of the mouth. That's it. Right? P, P, B, B. So ip, ib, ib, im. Right? So these 5 rows, right, are we start with now. These are the Vyanjanam. Now, what are these Vyanjanam? They are called the Vargiya Vyanjanam. They are called the Vargiya Vyanjanam. That means there is a Varga, there is a class. So the K, Kh, the Gh are called the Kavarga. This is called a Kavarga. This is called a Kavarga. Very simple. The first letter is used to give the name. Chavarga, Tavarga, Tavarga, and the Pavarga. These are called the Vargiya Vyanjanam. Clear? They are called the Vargiya. That means those which are having a family. They are divided into the Kavarga, Kavarga, Chavarga, Tavarga, Tavarga, Pavarga. Fine. So these give rise to 25 different Vyanjanam. And we go a little further and we go to the Avargiya. That means no Varga. And that is Ya, Ir, Il, Iv, Ish, Is, Iha. What is popularly called as Yaralava, Sh, Sh, Sa, Ha. Are you able to see the difference between the Sh and the Sh? Are you able to make out a difference? Most of us say it the same way, right? But there is a difference. The Sh, Shivka Sh, and Sh, you have to take your start the letter a little behind. When you say sh, you are using the front part of your mouth, and when you say
Yes.
sh, you are using a little backside, little behind.
Yes.
Right? You got
So
sh,
which is back and which is front? Which one is back, which is front? Wait, I
Sure.
can't see face clearly. That's why I'm asking.
I'll tell you. You can look at me and see. It's sh. Rakesh,
Yeah.
I relate. Rakesh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So you got sh. You see sh. You're using the front part of your mouth when you say sh. But when you say sh, you're using
Yeah.
a little behind, right?
And which is what, sir? The first one is front. The second one is back. Sh and sh. What?
The first one is the shivka sh is the front, and the sh is at the back, right? What I mean by back, we'll come to that also. What there should be some definition to it. So how much back? Where? How much? You've got the lips, you've got the teeth. See, I tell you, you've got the oshtha, you've got the dantya, you've got the talu, you've got the murdna, and you've got the kantha. Right place, right place, right? You've got what? Oshtha, the lips, dantya, the teeth, the talu. I'm going in the same order. I'm going behind. Right? You've got the talu, which is the front side. Right? The front side, the talu. Little behind is murdna. Right? And even further is the throat, right? So kantha. Murdhan. I don't know whether those who have learned traditionally Hindi or Marathi, murdha is the top of the head. Is the murdha. what we call as the cerebrum, right? And if you draw a line, then when it hits your throat, no? If you draw a line from here down, where it hits your throat is the murta. That is that place. Behind means what? That so you have got the poshtya, the dantya, the talu, the murdana, and the kodda. Right? So that the Shatkar Shakara, what we call this as Murdhanya Shakara. It's very difficult to when a teacher says, he finds it difficult for the student to understand. So we say Murdhanya. This is the Murdhanya. And you have the Talavya, which is the Sh. Yes, but the Murdhanya Shakara will mean this. The Talavya Shakara will mean this. So, very difficult to sometimes differentiate between the two. So, to explain clearly, you say Murdhanya or Talavya. Yes? Very then you have the Sakara and the Hakara, right? The Vargiya Vyanjanani and the Avargiya Vyanjanani. But remember, all of them are what? Ardhamatra. They are not Purnamatra. So basically what we are trying to say is Vyanjanam cannot be pronounced. And if you want to pronounce a Vyanjanam alone, then you have to use some help of some earlier swara. So we said ik. So you can't say, so you can't say, no, so you have to add one swara in the front. Then we come to uh, idea of yat or prayatna. Ucharana prayatna. Ucharana prayatna. What kind of a prayatna you have to do? If you want to say a sound, what kind of prayatna you do? So you get hard consonants and soft consonants. That means you have to do more prayatna. Then you get a karkasha vyanjana. Karkasha vyanjana. Karkasha vyanjana. Hard, right? Because there is more prayatna. In the kind of mrudu vyanjana, there is less prayatna. You see that the, kh, ch, ch, t, th, s, th, p, ph, and the sh, th, th are all classified as karkasha hard. Right? That means basically the first two columns of the Vargiya Vyanjanam, the first two columns are the Karkasha Vyanjanam, and the rest of the three columns are called the Mrudu Vyanjanam, soft. The G, Nya, J, J, Nya, T, T, D, N, G, G, N, B, B, M, Y, R, L, V, H are called the Mrudu Vyanjanam, soft consonants. Next step. That is from the point of view of effort, how much prayatna you need to say it. Another way of classifying can be the amount of breath which is needed. That means how much of prana you need. Prana is breath. Right? So alpa pranaksharam and maha pranaksharam. So now the first column, the third column, the t, ch, j, t, d, t, d, p, b, y, r, l, v. You need less breath. Have you aspired? You're not no aspiration, right? You didn't throw out a lot of air. So these are called the alpa pranaksharani. Alpa prana, and the opposite what? The opposite is alp. You have got the alpa prana, the maha. Get the yatna point of view, you have got the karkasha and the mrudu. From the prana point of view, you have got the alpa prana, the mahaprana. Obviously, when you say kha, you use a lot of air, lot of use. Kha, dha, cha, jha, tha, dha, tha, dha, pha, pha, sha, sha, sa, sa. See, everywhere you are uh, expelling a lot of air from your mouth. So you've got alpa prana and the mahaprana. Is this clear? And then finally,
Sir,
the
sir,
last
sir, which one are the Alpa Prana?
alpa prana is the first column in the Vargiya, the first column.
Ah.
The
Okay.
cha, ta, ta, and pa. You didn't expel a lot of air, no? And then
Correct,
the
correct.
third column, the ga, ja, da, then the, and the ba.
B.
In the Avargiya, you have got ya, ra, va, na. These are the alpa prana. And all the rest are the mahaprana, where you are of
ಅಲ್ಲ
lot,
ಇದಲ್ಲ
Sir,
lot of
I have,
air.
sir,
Okay, shall I?
can I ask you two questions, sir? Can I ask you?
Please, go ahead.
Sir, the Karkasha Vyanjanam, you said first two columns of the Vargiya Vyanjanam. Then, sir, I just wanted to clarify Mridu Vyanjanam, which are the ones, sir? All the rest or
All the rest, the third, fourth, fifth are all the mrudu.
3, 4, and 5? Okay, sir. So that is
Four
one
and
class.
five.
The second one, you talked about Sha and Sha. Sir, typically the way I've heard it, I've seen people pronounce it. Actually, Shiva, people are doing it at the back, and Maharashtra, we are pronouncing it from the front. But the way you're explaining, it seems to be just the opposite of.
Exactly opposite.
Okay.
Exactly opposite. And I am coming to that. I am coming to that. That is, these are misconceptions which we have. The sha is to be from the front, and the sha is from the back. I'm coming to that. I'll ask you a question. For example, when you say ta, ta, are you using the back or the front? Okay. Let me go little further. When you say ta, right? Are you using the front or the back?
Front, sir.
Ta, ta. Are you using the front or the back?
Tha, sir. Tha.
No. Ta.
Ta.
That ta.
Ta.
Where is your ta coming from? Is it coming from the front side or the back side?
Ta. Ta. Ta.
Ta is coming from, if I say ta, it is coming from front. But if I say ta, it is coming from Murdhan.
Exactly. Very nice. So these are called the Murdhanya. I'm coming to that. You keep this at the back of your mind. I want to do that also now. That means we are coming to the point of, see, we have classified the letters in terms of Karkasha and the Mrudu, right? That means from the
Yeah.
Yatna point of view of Yatna, effort. Second thing we did is from the point of view of Prana, on the terms of point of view of breath, correct?
Yes.
Now the third classification is from the point of view of Uchcharana Sthana. Where is the Uchchara coming from? Where is the sound coming from? Correct? This is the third part. I am coming to that. Okay? Now, next one is we have got the nasal, right? And they are called the Anunasikaksharani. Anunasikaksharani. Are you all finding the Savarna Dirgha Sandhi in this?
Anunasika Aksharani.
Very nice. So, Anunasika Akshara. So we know now, we recognize this as a Savana Dirgha Sandhi.
Yes.
Okay. I will now come to the classification of Ucharana Sthana. Right? I've not given it in this PDF, but you can write it down. Okay. This is a karika. A karika. A karika, is a sort of a hint which tells us, in a nice way, some idea which has to be told. So, akuha विसर्जनीयानाम् अकुह विसर्जनीयानां कंठः. What can I tell you? It says the the ka varga, the h, and the visarga are all coming from where? From the
Kantha.
akuha visarjaniyanam kantah. Now you confirm to me, where is the and the the all are, where are these?
Throat.
Yeah, Kantha.
Kantah, right? Akuha visarjaniyanam kantah, right? Now ichu yashanam talu. Ichu yashanam talu. Now are you able to see the tell me now where the ch is coming from? When you say ch, front or back? Ch,
Yeah.
front, back.
E, chu, ya, ta. Correct.
Yeah. Are these coming from the front or the back?
Cha. Front. Ya.
Front. So therefore,
Yes.
now to understand why this sh is the talavya and where is it coming from?
Yes.
The front.
Front.
So language is so logical that we can come to our own conclusion. We don't have to believe anything. Here, this is the sh. Let's write it correctly. This is the Does that put your the question to rest, Sanjeev?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
When you say e, you're actually using the front part of your mouth.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
E, ya, sha, nam, talu. Now, interestingly, this chu and chu, right? This is a code to tell you the ka varga and the cha varga.
Ah.
Wherever Panini wanted to say ka varga, he would say ku. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like I told you, just like I told you, ach means all this word. Right? So just like he wants to say kavarga, he doesn't say kavarga. He says ku. That's it. Yeah. The next one. Rutu rashanam. See now what you want. Urdha. Now tell me. Ru, 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 sh, r. Now, where do you want to put the sh now? Front or back?
Back.
So, sh, sh, sh. You have to go a little behind your sh. Rutu rashana, urdha. Now you understand the ru is coming from the back, the two, but it's not as back as the kantha. See, you note the ru is coming from the back, but it's not coming from the kantha. You still need your the roof of your mouth, the backside roof.
Yes.
You say roof.
Yes.
If you don't use the roof of your mouth, then you will say who.
Correct.
Because you need the back of your mouth, the back of the roof of your mouth, you come to roo, roo. So, right?
Sir, what is the exact meaning of talu? Talu. Exact meaning? Palate?
The talu is the palate. Exactly.
Okay.
Correct. Correct. The palate. So, you start with the palate and then you come to the cerebrum. What do we call it? The cerebral. In English phonetics, they are called as the cerebral. Cerebral. These roof of the mouth things, these are called the cerebral. Right? And the talavya are called the palatal. Palatal. Cerebral. Right? Okay. Let's go further. Then he says, Rutu lasanam, Rutu lasanam, dantaha. See how beautifully the classification is done. Lr, tr, tu. Say tu without the teeth.
Hmm.
Have you observed people without the front teeth saying the?
Yeah.
Not able to say it. So Rutu lasanam, the is also a dantya. Right? So Rutu lasanam, dantaha. Then you have Upu Padmaniyanam. Upu Padmaniyanam. Oshtau. So you got the U. You see a Savarna Dirgha Sandhi here. Padmaniyan. Oshtau. Do you see the Savarna Dirgha Sandhi here?
Yeah.
Pu. What is Pu? I told you. Pu is the Kavarga. So Pu is the Pavarga. Similarly, the U. You can't say U without the lips. Right? And the Padmaniya. So we have been introduced to a new Upadmaniya. Upadmaniya. Right? Padmaniya. Okay, let this be now. I will tell you little later. So this remains unanswered. What is Upadmaniya? Right? Not answered. Fine. Is this clear? The Pavarga and the Upadmaniya. We don't know what Upadmaniya is at this moment. So leave it. Oshtau. You see, interestingly, Oshtha is one lip. One lip is Oshtha and two lips is Oshtau.
Oh.
So do you find the use of the Dvivachanam also? Oshtha Ekavachanam, Oshtau Dvivachanam, Oshthaha Bahuvachanam. Oshthaha, we have two lips. So Oshtau. So you need two lips to say the U, the Pu, and the Upadmaniya. We'll come to what Upadmaniya is. Then you have Nya, Mang, Nam, Nasika. We need the nose, no? Don't we need the nose for the nya, ma, na,
Yes.
and the na? That's our fifth column. So where is the Ucharana Sthana? The Nasika. You need the nose. Right? Now we come to, places where we need two Ucharana Sthana. Edaito, edaitoho, natalu. Edaitoho, kanthatalu. Now there is a use of a little complicated sandhi in this word. I will split it and give you. Et, I. That means the A and I, we need the kantha as well as the talu, both. A and I. Whenever Panini wanted to refer to only one varna, no, then he always says eight, I, reveal. If he says at, then he wants to only talk about a. He says oth, then he is referring only to O. Okay. So the eighth, I will mean that what? He is talking about A and I. And for that you need the kantha and the talu both. Right? The A, I, then you have, you see here now, O, tau, tau, ho, O, dau, to, ho, kanthoshtam. You can't say O and O. Do you see here? O, O, just like here we had eighth and I. This we had eighth and I. Here we have what? Oath and out. You see, are you able to see this the is changing into a the? Are you able to observe?
Yeah.
The is into a the. Are you able to see that? Edaitoho, kanthataluhu, right? And odautoho, kanthoshtam. The kantha and the oshta, both of them. Right? Go further. Vakarasya. What do you think Vakara is? What do you need to say va? What do you need to say?
Only breath.
Teeth and lips
Or-
both.
Were.
Dantoshtam. Dantoshtam.
Is it were?
V. See,
Hello.
V.
Hello.
Say V without the teeth and the lips.
Hello.
Were.
V. You used your teeth. You used your lips also. V.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So little. So Vakarasya Dantoshtam.
Were.
Juhamuliyasya. Juhamuliyasya. Juhamulam. So now one more kind of varna is being introduced, and that is called the Juhamuliya. Right? So you have got Juhamuliya and the Upadmaniya. Two were there, right? I told you we have not answered the Upadmaniya also. Right? And the last one is Nasika Anuswarasya. Are you able to see the Savarna Dirgha Sandhi? Nastikanuswarasya. Nastikanuswarasya. So Nastika Anuswar.
Anuswarasya.
So here you have the Savarna Dirgha Sandhi, right? We know na, for the Anuspara, what is used as the Anuswara, which we have not talked about still. You got that Anuswara. You put the bindi, what we call as the bindu on the top. This is called
Yeah.
an Anuswara. This is called an Anuswara. Right? And you have got this is the Visarga. Right? This is called the Anuspara and this is called the Visarga. And both of them are called, two of them, no? There are two, no? Two. So Ayoga Vaho. They are called the Ayoga Vaho. Right? Interestingly, they are called Ayoga Vaho because they don't find mention in the Maheshwari Sutra. Did you find the Visarga and the Anuswara in the Maheshwari Sutra? They're not there in the Maheshwari Sutra, right?
Mhm.
And they don't have an independent existence. You can't. Have you anywhere seen the use like this? It has to be associated with something else. Only then it can be used. Otherwise, it cannot be used. You get what I'm saying? So there is no mention of it in the Maheshwari Sutra, and therefore they are called the Ayoga Vahu. So it is Yoga Va one of them. But there are two, no? So Yoga Va just like I told you, Oshtha and two lips is what we told? Osh.
Oh,
So through this now we have come to know that there is Ekavachana form. There is a Dvivachana form. Two things also have got a form. And you have got a Bahuvachana form as well. You have got Ekavachana, Dvivachana, and Bahuvachana. Okay? So we have tackled the Ucharana Sthana also, except for Upadhamaniya
And
we don't know.
Jihva.
And the Jihva Mulya. This Jihva. See, the pronunciation is, many people want to say the Vakara first.
mm.
But see how I say it. It is Jihva. It's not Jivha. We always try to say Jivha, which is the wrong way to say it. It is Jihva. Right? So then, what are we saying when we say Jihva? Are we trying to join two letters together? Or rather, are we trying to join two consonants together? Right? When you say Dma, Dma, are we trying to join the and the ma together?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll investigate this further next time. We'll stop here. Right? I think I've done quite a lot. I hope this is all sunk in. Very difficult to. It's very
Yeah.
difficult to insight on a topic which you know so well. We are talking for 1.5 hours. Right? But this is
No, but
all that we did is very, very useful because this
yes.
language is very, very phonetic. Right? So all this we are going to use profusely. It might look
No,
little
that's what.
weird,
So once we understand, how beautifully this can be used, I think then it will be even more interesting.
even more interesting. Yes. Okay. We meet next Tuesday again, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
धन्यवाद.
Sir, Namo Namah.
Yep.
नमो नमः.